Now we have a couple of challenge problems for you to try. It's the same concepts, it's just multi-step problems. Try number 8, even if you have to guess the answer, and we'll look and see if your answer makes sense. But pause, try, and then play and check your answer. Well, to solve it, I know that this is a 90-degree angle altogether. So I'm going to start by taking the 46 away from 90. That's going to give me 44 degrees. All right. If this right here, so I've already taken care of the 46. This right here is 44 degrees. And this part of it is equal to this part of it. I take the 44 degrees and I divide it by 2. And that means that each of those 2 missing angles is 22 degrees. And I can check my answer by adding 22, 22, and 46. And if I add them together, I get 90 degrees, so I know I got it right. Finding the measure of the missing angles, well, let's look for my vertical angles. Here and here are 2 long intersecting lines. If this one's 18 degrees, that means that B is 18 degrees. All right. Now, from here to here is 180 degrees because it's making a straight line. So those are all supplementary angles. When you add them all together, they give you 180. If I take 180 and subtract 38, it gives me 142. If I take 142 and subtract the other angle, 18 degrees, I end up with 124 degrees for the measure of angle A. I can add it together and make sure I got it right. 124, 18, and 38. And when I add, I end up with 180 degrees, so I know I got it right. So far, A is 124, B is 18. If I look, and I'm trying to figure out what angle C is, one thing I could do is say, let's erase some stuff so you can see it a little better. One thing I can do is say 18 degrees plus C makes a supplementary angle. I take 180, subtract 18, and I get 162. So C is 162 degrees. The other thing that you could have done, let's erase some more so you can see a little better. Okay. Is if these are my intersecting lines, that means that this is a vertical angle with this. So I know that A is 124, and then this angle is 38. So all the way across is 162 degrees. That means that C would also be 162 degrees. So there's multiple ways to solve that one. If we're finding missing angles, we find one at a time. I know that all the way across is 180 degrees. I take 180, I subtract 100, that's 80. Then I subtract 38. So I've taken that out and I've taken that out. And that means I'm left with what A equals, which is 42 degrees. Now if A is 42 degrees, then B also has to be 42 degrees because A and B are vertical angles. If I'm trying to figure out what C is, I know that B and C together make 180 degrees. I take 180, I subtract 42 degrees, I end up with 138 degrees for C. All right, so we're trying to figure out A, B, and C. Let's start with A. 23 degrees and A are vertical angles formed by intersecting lines, so I know A is 23 degrees. Then, I know that all the way across is 180 degrees. 180 minus 110 is 70 degrees. Then I take away 23, and it's 47 degrees for B. All right, and then for C, I see that this all together forms a straight line. I take 180 and subtract 23 degrees, and I end up with 157 degrees for C. And I can check that by adding 110 in B. That gives me 157, so I know C is 157. Well, the first time I did this one, I got it wrong, so see if you get it right the first time and prove that you were smarter than I am. Okay, from here to here, it's 132 degrees. I know that this much of it is 90. I take 132, I subtract 90, and that means that X is 42 degrees. Okay. Now, if I'm trying to figure out what Y is, I'm going to take 180, subtract the 90, and then subtract the 42 degrees, and I end up with a 48 degree angle. So X is 42, Y is 48, and this makes sense because this much of it is a 90-degree angle, so those two numbers should add up to 90, and they do. Okay, same idea. All the way from here to here is 128. If I subtract 90 from that, I am left with 38 degrees for N. And if N and M are making a 90-degree angle, I take 90, subtract 38, I end up with 52 degrees for M.